Some of the biggest transformations in my life didn't come from massive decisions or dramatic moments. They came from small, almost invisible habits I started at random points, simple actions that seemed meaningless at first, but over time, they compounded. They reshaped me without me even realizing it. I'm not talking about hacks, shortcuts, or trendy routines that promise instant success. I'm talking about subtle, daily patterns that quietly reprogram the way I think, feel, and act. If you've ever felt stuck, lost, or like you're just existing instead of living, these habits can change everything. They may look small, but they hold the power to completely transform your everyday life. And who knows, this might be the exact shift you've been needing all along. So let's dive right in. Habit has shown I check my screen time every single day. This one may sound simple, but it's powerful. I've gone a step further. I've set my screen time as a widget on my iPhone. That means it's the very first thing I see when I unlock my phone. Before I can check messages, emails, or social media, I see exactly how much time I've already spent on my phone today. I have to physically swipe left to move past that number, and that small barrier makes me conscious of every second I'm spending. Let me be clear, I'm not anti-phone. I'm not against entertainment or technology, but as I get older, I'm realizing something deeply uncomfortable in my life is getting shorter, and because of that, I've become obsessed with being present. I know one thing for certain. When I reach the end of my life, I won't wish I had spent more hours scrolling through Instagram or TikTok. I wish I'd watched more YouTube videos or replied to more texts. No, when that time comes, I'll wish I'd spent more time with the people I love. I'll wish for more dinners with my wife, more laughs with my son, more moments that felt real. So I've trained myself with this simple habit. When I open my phone and see my screen time, it's like a mirror showing me how I've been spending my life. It reminds me I don't want to live on this screen. I want to live out there. Because one day, when I'm old and lying in bed, I'll think back to days like this and I'll wish I could come back. And the worst thing I could do is waste those days staring at a screen. That's why this habit matters. If you have an iPhone, make your screen time visible. If you're on Android, there are similar tools. Put that timer where you can see it. Watch the numbers shrink. 5 hours becomes 4, 4 becomes 3, 3 becomes 2.5. Every hour you reclaim isn't just screen time reduced, it's your life coming back to you. That's habit has shown. Habit #2. Never miss 2 days. This one rule has shaped almost every success I've had. A successful life, whatever that means to you, isn't built through massive, life-changing moments. It's built through consistency. Success comes from showing up, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Whether you define success as happiness, love, money, health, or peace, it all comes down to what you do every day. If you move your body daily, you'll get stronger. If you give your kids your full attention daily, no phone, no distractions, your connection deepens. If you show your spouse love daily, your bond strengthens. But life gets messy. Sometimes things fall apart. You miss a workout. You skip that family dinner. You get lost in stress or work or fatigue. That's fine. That's normal. The key is this: never miss 2 days in a row. If I failed yesterday, I don't fail today. If I messed up, I plan differently the next day. This mindset protects your consistency. Because one missed day is a slip, 2 missed days becomes a pattern. If you skip 2 days, your brain starts building a new habit, the habit of not showing up. And once that happens, it's 10 times harder to get back on track. So I allow myself grace for 1 day, but I draw the line at 2. You can miss a day, you can rest, you can fall behind, but you get up the next day and you do it anyway. That's how you build discipline. That's how you build a successful life, not through perfection, but through returning again and again, no matter what. That's habit #2, never miss 2 days. Habit #3, bookend your day with gratitude. For years, I believed the secret to success was a perfect morning routine. I'd read about billionaires who woke up at 4 a.m., meditated for 30 minutes, journaled for 20, drank green juice, ran 6 miles, and crushed their day by 9 a.m. And I tried it, but I realized something. If I need to check off 14 things, just to have a good day? I've built fragility, not strength. Because on days when life gets messy, when I oversleep, or the baby's crying, or I'm traveling, I think, well, I didn't meditate today, so my day's ruined. That's not how I want to live. Instead of chasing the perfect routine, I built one simple anchor: gratitude. Every morning, I spend 5 minutes, no phone, no music, no talking, just sitting in silence, thinking about what I'm grateful for. 5 minutes. That's it. Because the truth is, our brains are wired with negativity bias. We're programmed to notice what's missing, what's wrong, what's broken. Gratitude reprograms that bias. It turns your focus from lack to abundance. Sometimes I'm grateful for small things: coffee, sunlight, a quiet moment. Sometimes it's deeper: my family, my health, my work. It doesn't matter what it is. Then, before I go to sleep, I do it again. 5 minutes reflecting on what went right today and saying thank you for it. Sometimes my morning and evening lists are the same, sometimes they're different. But this habit changed the lens I see life through. When I wake up grateful, I start my day scanning for what's right instead of what's wrong. When I fall asleep grateful, I teach my subconscious to rest in peace instead of anxiety. You can call it meditation, you can call it prayer, you can call it mindfulness. I just call it a reset, a reminder that life's already full of good things, if I choose to see them. Gratitude in the morning, gratitude at night. Simple, powerful, transformative. That's habit hash 3. Habit hash 4, the 5-minute rule. This one was taught to me by my very first coach when I was 20 years old, and I still use it today. When something goes wrong, when you're angry, frustrated, disappointed, set a timer for 5 minutes. During those 5 minutes, let yourself feel it fully. Yell, cry, swear, punch a pillow, stomp your feet, scream into the void if you have to. Do whatever you need to do without hurting anyone or anything. Let it out, and when the timer goes off, that's it. You're done. Move on with your life. Here's why this works. When something upsets us, many people hold on to it for hours, days, even weeks. They replay it in their minds, feeding it energy, keeping it alive. That's emotional poison. The 5-minute rule gives you a safe container to express and then release. On the other hand, there are people who do the opposite. They push emotions down. They hide them. They pretend they're fine. But when you push something down, you're depressing it, literally pressing it deeper into your body. That's where long-term sadness and stress live. Emotions are meant to move. If you don't express them, they'll depress you. So instead of suppressing or drowning in them, I give them 5 minutes. 5 minutes of chaos and then peace. Habit hash 5, be bored for 3 minutes. We live in a world that hates silence. Every quiet moment feels like something to fill with noise, scrolling, messages, or distraction. But here's the truth. Every time you instantly reach for your phone, you're training your brain to be reactive, to need constant stimulation. That's why I created a rule for myself. Be bored for 3 minutes. Whenever I catch myself feeling restless, when my mind says, check your phone or do something, I stop. And instead, I sit there for 3 minutes and do absolutely nothing. No music, no scrolling, no distractions, just stillness. Because I want you to understand this, boredom isn't the enemy. It's the space where your creativity and clarity are hiding. If you can't sit alone with your thoughts for 3 minutes, you'll never be able to direct your thoughts when life gets hard. We've become addicted to the dopamine rush of entertainment, so much so that most people don't realize they're not living anymore, they're just reacting. And I didn't want to be that way anymore. Sometimes my 3 minutes turn into 15. Sometimes I'll just go for a walk. No phone, no podcast, no headphones. Just me, the sounds of life, and my thoughts. At first, it's uncomfortable. But over time, something incredible happens. You start building the muscle of peace. You start realizing how often you are running away from your own mind. And when you stop running, when you face that silence, your best ideas begin to surface. Being bored isn't a problem, it's a signal. It's your mind saying, you've been overstimulated, come back home. So the next time you feel the urge to grab your phone or fill the silence, don't be bored for 3 minutes. Train yourself to be okay with stillness. That's habit hash 5. Build comfort in the quiet. Habit hash 6. Create phone hours. Most of us have work hours, but almost no one sets phone hours. We have boundaries for everything else, our jobs, our friends, our meals, our family. But for some reason, the phone gets a free pass. It's allowed to interrupt any moment, any emotion, any peace we try to create. And that's why I started setting my phone hours. For me, it's simple. I can use my phone between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Outside of that, it's off limits. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And this changed everything. Because for the first time, my phone wasn't controlling me, I was controlling it. Now, I don't check it for at least an hour after waking up. When I wake up, my phone is right next to me, but it's on airplane mode. That means no notifications, no messages, no temptation. I spend my first hour awake in peace, thinking, stretching, playing with my son, talking to my wife, drinking coffee. When that hour's over, I can turn it on, and at night, I shut it down. No scrolling before bed, no late night emails, no getting sucked into someone else's life right before I fall asleep. It's not that I hate my phone, I just love my life more. Here's the thing, your phone is a tool, but if you don't set limits, that tool starts using you. So I created a rule, 1 day a week, no phone at all. For me, that's Sunday. Every Sunday, my wife and I pick one of our favorite breakfast spots. We leave our phones at home, just us and the baby. We eat, we laugh, we talk. After breakfast, we go to the farmer's market. I pay with my card, not my phone. And the world doesn't fall apart. That one phone-free day reminds me what life used to feel like before screens invaded every quiet moment. When you create boundaries with your phone, you start to remember what presence feels like. You start to reconnect, not to the internet, but to yourself, your family, your own thoughts. That's habit hash 6. Create phone hours and reclaim your peace. Habit hash 7. Close out your workday. This one changed my mental health more than almost anything else. I've been working for myself for over 20 years. And for a long time, I didn't have any boundaries between work and life. Work bled into everything. Meals, weekends, family time, even my dreams. And I realized something painful. When you don't have boundaries with your work becomes your identity. So I started doing something small but powerful every day. I close out my workday. It takes me less than 3 minutes. Here's how. When I finish working, I grab my notebook and write down everything I accomplished that day, even the small things. Seeing it written down reminds me that I did enough. Then I write down my top 3 priorities for tomorrow. Not 10, not 20, just 3 things that actually matter. Once that's done, I close my laptop, take a deep breath, and I say out loud, I'm done with work for the day. That sentence is powerful because I'm not just saying it, I'm hearing it. It's like flipping a switch in my brain from work mode to life mode. After that, I don't check emails, I don't open texts, I don't glance at analytics or social media. I just live dinner. Tastes better, conversations feel deeper, and my brain gets to rest, which means when I show up tomorrow, I show up stronger. We spend so much time trying to get better at work, but we forget life happens after work. And if you never shut down, you never truly live. That's habit hash 7. Close out your day so you can actually have a life outside of it. Final thoughts, tiny habits, massive change. These 7 habits might sound simple. Check your screen time. Don't miss 2 days. Practice gratitude. Release emotions. Sit in silence. Limit your phone and close your workday. But don't underestimate them because these small, invisible changes have completely reprogrammed the way I think, feel, and live. They made me calmer, more focused, more alive. You don't need to flip your life overnight. You just need to start with one small habit today, something that makes you 1% better. And in time, those 1% will compound into a version of yourself you won't even recognize, not because you changed everything, but because you changed consistently. Hey, thank you for watching. If this message hit home for you, YouTube has probably suggested another video right next to this one, and trust me, that one's meant for you. Click it, watch it. And if you want to keep growing, keep learning, and keep pushing yourself to live a better life, hit that subscribe button, because the smallest step you take today might just be the thing that changes everything. I'll see you in the next one.